It'll pop up in a second. I'm not quite ready, but I'm still going anyway. Because why the hell not? I should really just raise my microphone. Okay, I think we're good. I think everything's going well. Right, hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome back to Hearts of Iron. We're going to continue where we left off. The Iron Man mode. Local, everything's good. Start? You going to start? Yeah. So we're still Chamberlain because Churchill hasn't come yet. And I'm going to do some of the various bits of news as well from this week, and basically some bits and pieces I've heard, things that I've played, etc. Because obviously there's not a huge amount going on in this game, and I can talk about the various little bits and pieces that we unlock that I know about. I mean, for example, I don't know a huge amount about World War II ships. I know it's a bit of a blank spot in my. I know about the Arctic Convoy, which went over that way, over to the Soviet Union. But other than that, I'm not hugely up to date with my ships. I know some submarines, of course, because, well, it's British policy really to know about submarines. But right, let's just I haven't done anything since last time, so I know low manpower, low that, 3 dockyards, yeah, I know all about that. Okay, go. Research wise, okay, so we're learning all kinds of useful things at the moment, like the Blenheim and construction, mostly construction bonuses at the moment. So yes, news while this is going on. I saw that a certain Alex Mayo is back. She DMCA'd the YouTube channel of River City Ransom Underground. So yay, and actually took down the channel. She's learned a little bit since the first time she tried this, so she is actually now able to use the DMCA system to remove channels from YouTube, so yay, adds a little bit more interest to the whole situation. So there's that, which is kind of scummy, but it's usually humorous when she goes off on a paranoid rage and deletes her Twitter and then brings it back again, and you kind of get the remnants of what she's been talking about. It's all very, very strange. Right. So we're 1930. Yeah, okay. So we're 1938. Should probably research the 2-pounder, because early game, apart from tanks, what you need is your artillery to sort of build up. 3 military factories. Oh, we've got 2 more factories. Good God, I still need weapons. Okay, 3 civilian factories, because everybody's finished what they were doing. Let's build a couple of infrastructure, and maybe an anti-air there. Let's also see what we can do about some anti-air down here as well. Can I also get factories? Only down that narrow bar there, and 1 in Cyprus. I'm going to build a military factory in Cyprus, and I'm going to build a civilian factory there, I think. Maybe a couple of land forts as well, sort of dotted around a little bit through the Sudan and Kenya, and that is actually a really, really big area to build in. So, but I can only build either military or civilian factories in those spots, and it's only 1 of each, which is going to be interesting. Don't think there's anywhere else I can really, yeah, I can build in Ghana. Most of Africa is held by France, it seems. Okay, fair enough. What do you mean? I mean, had the Germans not attacked Russia, well, really their downfall, Hitler's downfall came with they had two sort of main issues. The first is that he decided that instead of keeping his deal with the Soviet Union and you know, sticking with wiping, you know, controlling all this area around here. I'll just deal with this research slot. What should we research? Probably something to do with air, I think. I'll just get the air finished up. I'll just quickly get the Halifax up. Yeah, had he sort of finished securing all this area here, including the United Kingdom, had he actually invaded the United Kingdom, he would have had a much greater strength before dealing with the Soviet Union. So yeah, so he kind of split his forces a bit. Plus, he attacked in winter and didn't really give his troops the support they needed, which wasn't a particularly great idea because you're up against people who will use the terrain to their advantage. There's so many factors with the Soviet Union actually, because because Britain were supplying Soviet Union with all their sort of information as well. Any information that they could get from their code breaking and spy network, they were handing it over to the Russians, or sorry, the Soviets, and we were supplying them weapons and ammunition. So by not really dealing with this chunk of Europe, he really did hamstring himself a bit. The other big issue that Hitler had was that he was so obsessed with building these big, heavy tanks, which were going to be, you know, psychological and, you know, scary basically, rather than good, solid, dependable weapons that anybody could use. It means that he managed to build massive tanks that only moved at walking pace and would break down all the time. Whereas the Russians were just pumping out cheap tanks and just sending them off to fight. So, had Hitler not attacked the Soviets as early on as he did, he could have actually won the war. And had he not been completely obsessed with these wonder weapons as well, he built V3s along the coast of Russia, and these massive artillery cannon that could fire from the coast of France and hit London. And the British bombed it without really knowing what it was. It was only when the Americans actually got over there and had a peek did they find out that there were a load of artillery cannons built. So, I mean, had he not built that, and had he spent that time in reinforcing the defences around the beach, it would have at least been a lot harder for the Allies to get in there. But it was the nature of the war. A lot of people were still thinking along very traditional lines, whereas Britain was changing quite rapidly. It had to. It had to fight on an uneven playing field. Alright. Ooh, I've got another thing. Radar. Probably should pile into radar next. What else have I got? Yeah, 2 gas masks. Gas masks being issued just in case Germany decided to send mustard gas or something over. Right, that's all pretty much done then. 1938, I can get Special Forces. Can't get that one yet. Ooh, I don't know what to get. field hospitals, signal companies might be useful. That Crusader does have a tech boost, but I'll go for that one to get some artillery up. And it might be an idea to get some actual artillery up. That tank brigade is still training. They don't have their Valiants yet. That one, oh right, yeah, the infantry have artillery, so that'll be alright. Let's go again. By all means, World War II was really, really complicated, I have to say. There's so much going on at so many times, and it's really, really tricky to say who did what, you know, who did the right thing, you know, allies wise, in what they did in order to win the wars. Certainly they had to get creative. And if you see the like the Hobart's Funnies specifically, because they're so, it's such a big thing that was changed in how Britain fought. I'm gonna do that one, get some more of that. 19, right, all of this then is researched apart from the Hector, which, what does the Osprey? Close air support weapon. There's an early fighter. It's naval bomber. Yeah. I don't really see it. Well, may as well research that. I mean, certainly if Germany and Soviet Union had kept their agreement, they would have just romped over everyone. Soviets had the manpower, and the German Reich had the research. Yeah. Oh, it's French SS. I suppose it was the Battle of Berlin. Yeah, that was France was a very strange situation, because they did need quite a lot of almost riling up to build a resistance. It's almost like they needed to be convinced that maybe it wasn't such a great idea to kind of, I don't know. I don't know a huge amount of French history, to be honest. I guess France and UK have never got on particularly well, I have to say. Even when you go over there now, there is a certain amount of, I guess, distrust between us. Not really distrust even, but you know, we get on all right because we kind of have to these days. I think it's called, you know, it's you know, history. You know, you always remember the bad stuff that people have done, not necessarily the good. I mean, the Napoleonic Wars is where I'm going back to, which was a very, very long time ago, but it's almost like they never quite trusted, I guess, the Britain to help them. I don't know. Should probably fortify the rock, because Spain is now nationalist. I'm getting slightly concerned about the future of Gibraltar, both in game and out. Oh, got so many weird little bits of country. Actually, that's a good point. Where's the Falklands? I probably should just make sure they're all right. Yep, they're still here. They haven't been invaded by Argentina, which are all the way down. Wait. Oh God. Wait, which one's that one? Is that? It's United Kingdom. Oh, that's Bermuda. God, I was looking at Bermuda. Yeah, I mean, the Germans were just sort of almost like the occupying force. You know, these strange people come in and they, you know, spread their propaganda, and you know, they're sort of fighting the good fight, and I mean, at D-Day, they're just fighting it. They're not really thinking these British people are coming over to liberate us, to save us. They're just thinking, good God, there's all these weapons coming at us. It's sort of one of those sort of, it's nothing personal sort of moments. They're trying to kill us, we're trying to kill them, and it's not. Oh no. But yeah, really, really complicated war. It's like World War One. I mean, who remembers how World War One started? A guy was shot by another guy, and suddenly you've got United Kingdom and Germany going at one another for no apparent reason. I mean, at least in World War One, there wasn't really too much complicatedness around the edges. Oh God. Aircraft designer? Probably should. Oh, no. I need to do limited conscript. That one, anyway. It'll bump up my recruitable population, which I'm going to need. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go full conscription, but it does bump up your manpower a huge amount. So I can actually start training more units. Let's get up another infantry division. I can't train them down there, can I? No, I can't. Just over here. Let's give them a holiday in East Anglia. One division for now. And I can't edit them at the moment. I have to admit that most of what I know about World War II does revolve around the United Kingdom, and mostly the technology, actually. That's the bit that sort of interested me, was the technology that came out of it, and more the attitudes of thinking than the actual battles. Because the way of thinking does change a lot. You know, gone are the days where you had two sides that lined up in front of one another, and then you shot at each side shot at one another until some of one number were injured or just sort of faking it. And then, you know, it was a jolly good day out, and then they all went home for tea and biscuits, and you know, gone are those days. Which World War One couldn't quite. It seemed to almost harken back to those days of, you know, you all line up in front of one another and shoot at one another, and you know, everybody has jolly good fun. Only it's, you know, nothing like that at all, because the technology has moved to the point where actually these weapons are now completely and utterly lethal, and very much over the top. I mean, even the machine gun wasn't really. Nobody took the machine gun seriously in World War One at all. And so, by the time you get to World War Two, you've got enough of this modern technology and enough of this modern thinking to actually start making a difference in how tactics change. God. Yes, I should probably get the Lewis upgrade. Probably been putting that one off for a bit too long, so let's get that one. So we're going to 1938, so we should start to see some nastiness going along around here soon. Oh, right, Hawker Osprey's up. Mobile warfare, let's get mobile warfare. I've always preferred sort of this mobile warfare style of thinking. In general. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Europe and France now propose that they join the alliance. Yep, you can join the alliance. We stand together. We're going to help defend Czechoslovakia. I like Czechoslovakia. I've been to Czech Republic, not Slovakia. Though we did meet some very nice Slovakians in Czech Republic, who, yeah, rather a humorous story actually. I was hiking from Prague to Dresden with some mates, and English Tech in World War II, Bletchley Park. Ooh. Well, Bletchley Park was. I'll continue the story about the herb stew another time, perhaps, because this is kind of more interesting. Bletchley Park is certainly a very big part of what the United Kingdom did. They were very supportive of everyone else. Oh yeah, I just need to select the national focus. So things like radar being a British invention, which is where the rumour, I guess, it was a bit of propaganda really for Britain, which was about eating carrots. The reason why Britain could see German planes was because the spotters ate lots of carrots, and so their eyesight was so good they could see in the dark. Which is why the whole, you eat carrots and it makes your eyesight better, and it does help, but it's not, you can't see in the dark just because you eat a lot of carrots. But it was the propaganda machine rolling to kind of deflect the fact that the British did actually have radar by that time. They could see the planes coming in. But yeah, if you want to know more about English technology, these I'm probably going to be going into quite a bit of it in Hearts of Iron, certainly. Yeah, let's get radar up. So we add other things like geodesic designs for aircraft. So in some of these old World War II photos, you'll see bombers that have landed with massive chunks of them missing, and they've still managed to land, and that was because of this geodesic structure that they were all built with. So you could even have wooden bombers and wooden aircraft in general, and they would still land even though they were basically missing half of their fuselage, because it's all still kept nice and strong. There's a fair amount of just sort of little bits of technology that sort of went on to help the British, certainly, 'cause had to. But Bletchley Park is a very interesting story, and you don't just have the bomb, which was Turing's design, but you also have Colossus, which was made by a guy by the name of Tommy Flowers, who was a BT engineer working off Turing's work. And Flowers created the first semi-programmable computer, electronic computer, whereas the bomb was mechanical. Well, sort of electromechanical. It used a lot of mechanical parts, whereas Colossus used a lot of valves. Which were the main differences. But of course, the main differences obviously were that the bomb was to crack Enigma, whereas Colossus was to attack the German High Command code, which name eludes me. But I heard a wonderful story of the German code breakers. So Bletchley Park was the only code breaking unit in UK. And the Germans had something like 8 different code breakers and code breaking divisions. And at one time the tension between them got so heated that they actually had a brawl out on the street amongst one another, which I found quite humorous. Right, so probably want to go for factories. No, let's go for air superiority. I mean, Germany had quite a lot of technology coming out, but quite a lot of it was there's an awful lot of experimental stuff that never quite got to the factory floor, whereas Britain did actually. The ideas that they came up with, they were solid ideas, and so could be integrated better into the design, into the army. Oh god, we've got. I'm gonna send an escort force. Yeah, let's not send an escort force. Yep, that one will do. Let's send them down there into eastern North Sea. Actually, let's send them to patrol the eastern North Sea, and that way they'll pick up any fights going on up there. Meanwhile, we've got fights going on in northern France, and I should probably help out with that. We've got a tank brigade. Let's send our tank brigades down, mostly Matildas. Yeah, completely forgot about the war that was raging. Right, let's actually start helping out. Let's send them over. Send these 3 units over as well. Can't enter that province. Right, they have to move first. I knew there was something I forgot to do. Right, I've now got several units moving down to. Right, okay. Let's give him a commander. That guy. Let's give him that guy. And we'll go down and support with Matildas and artillery. Once that one's done, and no, that's fine. That's sort of going on fine. Are they there yet? Time forward a bit. Got some radar. Not technically at war with them yet, but Royal Ordnance. Ooh, hold on. Let's do that one going. Oh, that's just a continue. I didn't actually know what those did. Okay, that's just a continuous focus until I choose something else to do. I don't know what to do. That one? Yeah. Let's remove that one because that would remove that national spirit. Waterwendel Wars, which actually do something. Can't remember what that does, but it does something bad, I think. Yeah. Total manpower modified to 75% due to the water end war, so we need to get rid of that. That thing. And our unit is now in there, so let's get them down. I don't know if we can help out Luxembourg, unfortunately, they're tiny. Lithuania. Oh god. Oh, right, down there, so they're sort of trying to push down there and trying to get into Poland, I would assume. Might be worth getting a combat force. Submarines. Let's get submarines up to there if possible. Let's have them patrol that area. Oh, actually no, let's have them intercept in a second. Yeah, there was a lot of determination there, mostly in the tipping point was Poland being invaded. It was at that point where there was so much sort of concern about what was going on that there was a certain amount of it was almost like you were basically doing your duty to sort of sign up and go to war. It wasn't really conscription to a certain degree. It was, but it was more. Yeah. Well, yeah. It was more to do with almost doing your duty to kind of sign up and help. And so everybody ended up working. You know, it's oddly enough one of those sort of more equal times. Times of war when it doesn't really matter what your background is. There's a place for you in there in the war in some respect, and so we prepared for pretty much everything. I mean, even now across Britain you see all the pillboxes that were built alongside railways, in fields, all over the place, little remnants, little reminders that actually there was a time when this country was actually getting ready for an invasion. And little did they expect that actually this tiny country that was preparing to be invaded was actually going to eventually invade that. And yeah, the Canadians and the Americans did help out. The Russians too. To there was that point where actually the Soviet Union pushed back, and they pushed back hard. You don't see that I haven't really seen that in this. The reason why I'm playing this on Veteran is that what tends to happen in normal is that the German right gets reasonably big. They take over France, they take over Poland, and then suddenly the Soviet Union push back, and usually what happens then is that you only really need to send a few units down and the Germans are basically done for. Which is kind of why I'm playing this on Veteran, just to see if it will actually be a little bit more difficult, I guess. But I really don't have that many men to play around with, I have to say. It's equipment that's really doing me at the moment. I need... Oh, that's really going to... I need more factories going over to... What's the date? I need more production capacity. That's what I need. Get some more infrastructure. How's the war going? That's the other question. Right, I've got. Oh yeah, but I've not given them any orders, have I? Right, give them the front line. Can we have them actually? I have to say, I'm not really I don't exactly know what I'm doing with this stuff. I want to delete that order. Okay, keep that as the front line and go from there. No, don't do that. France appears to be pulling out. I don't really care too much about losing equipment, to be honest. Which was another thing that's popped up, especially after Dunkirk. Survival is more important than equipment. So it doesn't matter if you have to ditch your tank or your truck or your gun, because those things can be replaced and the people can't. Which was another sort of slightly disjointed opinion. Ideas that were changing, that actually if you ditch your gun and leg it because the battle is lost, there's no dishonour to it. If the line's broken, then there's nothing that you can do to salvage that situation. As long as that line's being held, then yeah, sure, fight on. But when the battle is lost, run. Because then you can return and fight another day. Which was, again, very much at odds with even World War I, where you didn't run. Oh God. I probably should get some boats. I don't have much of a navy. Let's get the Ark Royal. Let's also get some more boats. Let's get some submarines. Britain didn't really have much of a U-boat force back in the Second World War. It's only really now that we're moving over to submarines in a very big way. It's a good way to go for Britain, I think. Let's have 5 of the T-class submarines. Put a couple of factories on that. Britain's new submarine fleet is kind of epic. It's a shame that 4 of them are going to have nuclear missiles in. Oh God. I really don't know how good the stream's going because my internet is awful at the moment, which is weird because I'm on cable. I'm on fibre optic actually, so I don't really know why it's being a pain. Can I change things? I'm going to do some experimentation. Bear with me. Broadcast settings. Can I change that delay? If I changed it up to 5. Oh. Maybe this is going to be an experiment for another time. Though, quite frankly. Okay, what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to change the setting, which is going to put a delay on the stream of 5 seconds. And I'm going to stop the stream and then restart it on the basis that it's buffering a lot on my screen, and I don't know what the quality is going to be like, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, should be back up. There will be should be a delay now of 5 seconds, so we'll see how good that goes. I mean, it's still buffering a lot on my screen, but maybe it needs a little bit longer. Well, quality's back. I mean, it might just be buffering a lot on my screen because of reasons. As long as the stream health is good, that's all I care about, really. I don't really care if I can't see it. I'm gonna I'm just running some experiments now, so bear with me. That seems to be working now. Right. Okay, back to the fun. I'll say that seems to be what I shouldn't have said anything really. Okay, it's not showing on my screen, but it does seem to be working fine. Okay. I do like the little models. The little model tanks, they're kind of cute. I think that's probably just a standard model, because that doesn't look like a Matilda to me. Actually, what is that? Oh, it's 180 Matildas and 30 Valiants. Ooh, and I can invite to faction Belgium. Let's send them 10 Matildas every month. I think that's fair, sending them some Matildas. Nice tanks, actually. Very unique design for the time period. Because mostly a lot of tanks at that time period, you kind of have the tracks all nice and open, and Matildas, they're all closed in with some sort of holes in to kind of get the dust out. Interesting design, not particularly quick, but very well armed and very well armoured. Oh, we've got an autosave and radar station level 2, excellent. 1939, let's beef up the radar even more, and let's get some more radar stuff up. God, where's my radar station? See the difference between Mark 1 and Mark 2. I'm just going to build a couple around. I've also got, oh, is that Western Approach's fleet? I mean, I could get them to skulk around here. Or do I have any submarines that I can task? Got a reserve fleet of some destroyers. Let's take the reserve. Let's send them around here. They should be able to port in Gibraltar. Okay. So from next week-ish, my streams will be a little bit earlier on Monday. I do want to keep with a reasonably regular stream on Monday evening. Because why not? So yeah, they'll probably be about 7 o'clock my time, which is GMT. So there's that. As for what I'll be playing, I don't know. It just depends on how I feel. Sometimes it'll be Minecraft, sometimes it'll be this, sometimes whatever. I'll, you know, do a few weeks of this probably. I don't know. Don't know what I'll do. But so yeah, there's that. The other thing I should note, obviously I've been playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 at the moment. Reasonable game, but it's in a very buggy state at the moment, so if you do care about your games being in a reasonably decent state, wait until they've actually fixed the bugs, because there's an awful lot of them. And if you do have any, there are workarounds for an awful lot of the bugs, but it's not something you really want to be bothering with, really. For most, the workarounds will get annoying, so there's that. And I will be doing some videos on those. I've already put up a video today on one of them. Yeah, let's get the ground support up. On the basis that it was something that I was having a lot of trouble with. I had to do a bit of a dig around to find out workaround for it. So I thought I'd do one of my own signature very quick videos on how to do it, because if I'm having trouble, then there'll be other people out there having trouble. Right. Okay, so Italy is fine, I guess. I'll patrol there. I've got 3 military factories. That's amped up my production for that. The war is hell at the moment. I don't really know what's going on. It looks like, actually, can I disengage my units? Ah. Right. That's gone wrong, though I kind of expected that to happen, that it would get to a point in the war that actually I would have to get out of there. So we'll try and do we'll try and get them out of France anyway, and we will continue on researching stuff and just preparing for the worst. Construction is going reasonably well. There's a load of military factories being built. Loads of them. Yeah. 3 military factories. Excellent. My infantry equipment is now being stockpiled, finally. I should probably get the Hurricanes up. Drop that down. Push that up. And it's 1939, so should have some gear I can start getting soon. Hopefully. So we've now embargoed Germany, and I could now get a war with Germany. I think so. Well, that just allows me the ability to Poland. Let's ask if they want to join us. Right, so yeah, in doing so, kind of put us in a tricky spot. But I've got U-boats in the area. Yeah, let's get those U-boats down there. Oh well, they're just patrolling anyway. Oh god. I'm gonna have to mess around with streaming settings to see if I can work out what's going on, because this is a bit ridiculous. My oh right, that's cancelled because yeah. And that. I think I got my units out. Oh, and we've got a Canadian unit as well, District Militia from Canada, which is nice of them. Which is again, you know, something that happened after Dunkirk, because Dunkirk was just an evacuation of allies. You ended up with Dutch and Polish units camping out in England because they just needed to get out of France. Right, air wings. I've got okay, some air wings. I'm at war. Fine. I want to send us a maximum air wing. Oh yeah. So I've got. Let's get those gladiators up there. So these are reserves. Let's get them. Let's get. Well, may as well get those up. It's not like we don't have the manpower to get these planes in the air. Let's get them on an interception duty. Can I get these? Yeah, I'm going to select them. I want to get them going over France if possible. Northern France or... yeah. I want them to be doing strategic bombing of the area. I say strategic bombing, it's a bit of a laughable phrase at that point, because it's just strategic bombing is drop a load of bombs on an area and hopefully it'll hit something of use to the enemy. It's only until later on in the war that you really get precision bombing. Generally, precision bombing meant flying very, very, very low. Missing equipment. What am I missing? Naval bombers. I think the Swordfish is the newest one. Okay, so okay. There's some battles going on now. 1939 to forget the Sten. Right, so we've now lost Poland as well. Again, I was expecting that to happen. And maybe we stop here and yeah, Winter War. Right, I'm gonna stop the stream here now, I think. Partly because it's going weird on me again, and I'm gonna have to do a bit of fiddling around to see if I can fix this because it's getting annoying. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching. I'm going to close the game in a sec. Yep, so thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time when I can find the thing.